Welcome to another unauthorized and fuel treasure hunt in the sharky waters around the Gatsby Islands with Queen Raae. I'm your host, Captain Ola Vea, and today's guest is the great and powerful Shai Shekta!
This is the most fun thing I've done in a while. I'm so excited.
Yes. Where's our
And this
little
is the Pirate
Tinkerbell?
Princess.
Oh.
Yeah!
Yeah! Okay, do you have our Tinkerbell task post, Ola?
Jag ska höra det.
She wants you to hear it. She was afraid you hadn't heard her.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So now she goes and does her drawing, and then she's going to join us at the end.
Okay, do we know what she's drawing?
I think it's Christmas presents because for some reason my daughter is a planner. I don't know where she gets it from, but as soon as Halloween was over, she started making Christmas presents, and her Halloween costume was done at the end of August, and she's already bought and planned next year's Halloween costume.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
That's commitment.
That it. I mean, yes, and also
Wait, what's she being next Halloween?
So next Halloween she's going to be a witch.
Okay.
She got
maybe.
Solid choice.
Yeah. At the neighborhood market, she just saw this like Halloween costume or this witch costume that I'm gonna make us all big. Witch costume that she really wanted. So she bought it, and that's what she's gonna be. This year she was a robot. She created her own robot costume from cardboard, which is standing here now, looking very sad.
Cardboard and
duct tape.
It's covered in duct tape.
See, I plan to do a robot one year. I wanna make a Transformers costume that transforms.
I've seen some of those on Pinterest for kids, so you can take those to their instructions and then just make it larger.
I don't need instructions.
Saw this. Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing?
You're gonna I'm gonna call you like just distressed and like covered in duct tape and like stuck to myself, just being like, please help.
The night before Halloween. That's what we're doing. We're gonna do a live stream of your Transformer costume happening. So Ola, you had our little reminder because it's 3 questions and I never remember them. So we have the what, why, and how. So I'm going to share my screen because I have prepped a little bit of information here for everyone to see. So for Prune Your Follows, which is our kind of newest build-in project, build-in public project sponsored by SEDA, we let you import all your Twitter followers and then you can unfollow them. But I'm starting to see some broken images. So I've imported the URL for the avatar image, but then some of them are not live on Twitter anymore. And that just looks really bad. So we want to fix them. That's why we want to fix it. So the UI looks a little better than this. So I have another example here where you can see we have a lot of folks here that I have unfollowed or they have left Twitter, which is mostly the case with these people. And for some reason, one person's image is broken. These other ones are not broken, but maybe they'll be broken in a week or so. So how can we make this look a little bit better? I would like it to just kind of be, maybe we can just draw on here. Like I want it to just be like a little bit of a circle, like a gray circle would be perfect. Or something like that. And Shai might know how.
I might know how. Do you want to? Because you had one idea that you started telling me about, and I am a little bit.
Let's just do your idea. I trust you completely.
Really? I think I want to talk through yours first. Because I think in theory yours would work very nicely. I think there's a problem with it. That's all. I think it would be interesting to talk it through.
Okay.
So do you want to briefly talk about what yours was?
Look at that. I want it like this. Well, then I have to go, I think, on Twitter because I don't know if I actually, if I kept that link around. So, but if I see, because I was asking on Twitter, I was asking on all the socials. I'm testing out, just blasting to all the socials. So I also actually asked on LinkedIn, and I got the same link on both LinkedIn and Twitter. They both gave me the same, 2 different people gave me the link to the same article, which is this one, How to Style Broken Images with CSS. Yeah, so this is basically what we have, and this is what he makes in this article. So he's saying we can apply trans typography styles to images. I didn't realize. And what I learned from this article was that you can do before and after. What are these called again? Before and after? They're like
pseudo elements.
Pseudo elements. Oh, it says so right over there. This is how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know stuff. I just read the previous line.
So before and after, and when there is an image, when there is an actual image, before and after doesn't work. But then when it's not loaded in, they work. So what did you want to say about? Let's talk this.
So it sounded like a little bit of a hack to me. There was something that didn't sit right. Like the idea that those before and after and all the styling works if the image is broken, but doesn't work if the image loads successfully. Seems like something that probably isn't in a spec. It's just the way that the browsers have done it, right?
Yeah.
At which point I did a little bit of digging and saw someone saying this doesn't work in Safari. And so then I tried it in Safari and it doesn't work.
Okay.
Because it is a hack that kind of some of the browsers happen to work that way, but it's so if you want to work in Safari,
and that does happen because you have the spec and then all the browsers implement the spec, but they never implement it perfectly aligned. Like they all have to kind of take the spec and then implement it, and you get these little differences between the browsers.
Yes, and I suspect that this is one that doesn't. It's probably not specified in a spec tool, and so they've all just done whatever happened to happen.
Okay.
And so I can't think of a way to do this with just CSS, but I can think of a very elegant way to do it if we can use a bit of JavaScript.
Okay. Let's do it, because we're in React land. So I mean,
yes, exactly. Your other choice is that you can do it and it won't work in Safari, but that doesn't.
Yeah,
that probably isn't ideal.
If you have a little bit of a trick with some JavaScript, we could try that as well.
Yeah, let's try it. The JavaScript way is it's not a hack. It's just there is an event that gets fired on the image element.
Okay.
Called the event is called error, so it would be on error, and that will be called if the image fails to load. And so if we just have some kind of state, some kind of variable that changes if that on error gets called, then we can style it however we like.
So I usually like to make a function that I call handle error. So let's just start by typing that out. So we'll do something here. So what you're saying is then we should probably assume it's not there, and then no, we can't. We have to assume it's there. Is there an onload too? Because otherwise we might get a little bit of a flicker. Well, talk me through what you were thinking.
I believe there is an onload, yeah. So it depends what you want to do for the styling. What you could do, one option would be that you have. Okay, so it depends. How do you There's technically 3 states, right? There's the image hasn't loaded yet, it's still loading. There's the image has loaded successfully, and there's the image has errored, has failed to load, and it won't load.
And I feel like both loading and error could be like that little gray box that I actually trying to do here, because I am checking if there is an image URL, because if there is no image URL, we don't even want to show the image. So we could have if there is an image URL and the image is loaded successfully, we show the image, and if not, we'll show the alternative.
Yeah, that works absolutely fine. The downside is you're kind of duplicating the rounded full and things like that. I would be tempted, and you could definitely argue this is not better, but I will explain like the default way I would do it.
Yes. Yes, do that.
I would consider having like a gray circle that's always there, position relative, and then an absolute image that just fills the whole thing. So the gray image is always there, and then the image just kind of loads on top of it. And
okay, so then we load it on top when there's no error. So then we should do onload then.
Yeah. Well,
if you have a plan,
or you just what does an image look like when it hasn't loaded yet? I think it just looks like nothing. I think it won't show anything.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't show that error. That like it doesn't show. So what you're saying? Yeah, I didn't think about that. So it doesn't show this like weird thing until there is an error.
Right.
Okay, so we want a gray circle. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, now it all makes sense to me. So what we want is there to be a gray circle, and then if the image loads, it will be put on top of this gray circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Okay. There's a lot of different ways that you can position these circles and these images,
course.
and I think any of them would be fine. And the thing with these things, like it's so like contained inside one component that it's the kind of thing where I really just I don't spend time worrying about if it's the optimal solution, because whatever it's doing will look fine, and if it ever needs changing, everything is self-contained.
I always forget that this little snippet I have actually gives me these like image error, and then we'll need a big, so if there's an image error or if there's no image URL, no, we just wanted to then okay, let's go. So instead
can I read Inesa now?
Yes.
Howdy Inesa has a new photo on YouTube, isn't that right?
It's a very nice photo.
It's new, isn't it new?
Looks very pro, Inesa.
Yeah.
And also I know that I promised you stickers, and I will do a postal run sometime in the next weeks. Somehow, sending things from a post office takes 20 minutes, but it takes like 3 weeks at least in calendar time. So they will come, but it might take some time. So just wanted to say that. We'll do a div here then for our circle. So we'll do the rounded. Would you put the rounded full border thing on that?
I would, the rounded full definitely, and then probably just do it overflow hidden, and then so the image will be contained inside the same rounded circle.
Oh, because then we don't have to put rounded full on the image as well.
Yeah.
You're so clever.
So with the image inside that div, and if the image never loads, then it never loads. Okay. Like we just need to hide it on error. So
then we'll do the image, or if it doesn't exist, we'll also need to We'll need to load it. Yeah. This is my most beautiful coding practice right here, copy pasting. So then we don't need any of the class names. Do you think we should hide it with CSS, or do you think we should hide it with like a conditional, like I've done here?
Okay, Lillian wants to show us something. Are we ready?
Yes. Okay, I'll make.
Okay, no.
Oh wow, I'm gonna make you big. Let's see.
Ska lage oss stor.
It's a Gatsby Christmas card.
Er det julekort? Hva det til da? Det Gatsby I hvert fall, sa mamma.
Det Gatsby til å henge opp der.
It's to hang on my wall.
It's a Gatsby ornament.
That's awesome. You're indoctrinating them young, I see.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, in our household, G is for Gatsby. That's just the way it is. And I thought about it would be fun to make like a little picture book for conferences where it's like, A is for Algolia, B is for, I don't know, C is for Cloud and Harry, and just like keep on going, and like make it like one of those like cardboard books that babies get that they like chew on, and just like have all of the letters but make them tech companies.
I think you should. I think you don't have enough projects on the go. I think that's exactly what you should work on.
You and Ola should form a support group.
Nail it!
Okay, so do you want to hide it with JavaScript, or do you want to hide it with what's it called? CSS.
I don't think it makes a lot of difference. Yeah, whichever one you want to type.
So if there's an error, we want to set image error to true. Ooh. Need to get rid of all of these. They're just annoying. Let's try with CSS. So if there's an image error, or if there is no image URL.
Yep.
And I think there's better ways to use this like little thing I have here, this little CLSX.
Mm-hmm.
But I just always just do and. Which I guess. So if there is an image error or an image, well, then we want to do hidden. Isn't it hidden in Tailwind?
Yeah.
Are we done?
We can try it and see. We're not done. I can think of one or two things we missed, but I want to see how it loads right now.
You say it is not defined. It's one. Oh boy.
I'm glad you're driving, by the way, because I'm not fluent in React. Like I use Vue.js, so
okay.
Like I understand exactly what you're doing, but I would have to be looking up syntax the whole time.
Yes. So it's not working.
Okay.
Is it erroring now? No, I didn't refresh.
I'm gonna say that's not what we worked on.
This is gonna take. Oh, look at that! It works.
Yes.
Yeah. That is good.
We're awesome. That is good. We're done.
But does that mean that we can put whatever we want there instead?
We could put whatever we want in kind of the div that is underneath. So I guess if we do background blue here.
No, like I could have a picture of myself, for example.
Yeah, you could you could have the image always show and just change the source attribute depending on whether the image is errored or not.
Yeah, so we could do some kind of placeholder image, a pirate, something like that.
When is
I'm
like
interested.
That?
Did we?
Yeah.
We never. I was expecting that we would need to make the div relative and the image absolute to fill.
I don't think so, because these images are square. So as long as the div is square, I think the image will fit.
Yes. Yeah. Because the image is inside the div. Okay, fine.
Yeah. But it could be that they're too big, because I'm setting the size from outside. So on this class name coming in, that is the size.
Okay, fine.
So
you can do that with CSS as well. If you had images, just as a thought exercise, if your images were all different sizes, you could do a what's it called? CSS object cover, is it? Object contain. You've got those to play with, and it would.
Because I think if we do now, let's see if we try with. Is it with dash too? No, is it with?
Yeah, W dash and then a size.
Yeah, because now it's like tiny.
Yeah.
So
okay, fine. Fine.
So I think maybe I should do v full just to make it so it like covers in case these images are. But it looked like it worked without, but that might just be because we've been lucky with the sizing of these images. Let's see if we make it small. Like if we make it tiny. No, because I set that as an absolute size and shrink none. But if I go to my card, which is a chaos where I use it, and then I set the width there to be something larger. Isn't 16 one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Right.
So that's when we need, So that's when we need the V full, I guess, to just make sure that it fits the width. Now it's all
Beautiful.
pixelated. I mean, this was too easy.
We can do some more stuff with it.
Well,
I can,
Ola
there's
is
a-
happy. He's like,
That-
these screens are too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right. See you. Bye.
We can. Yeah.
I kind of liked it when it was just the border. It felt very like non-intrusive.
So yeah, you could do other stuff like Ola said before. You could change the source if it errors to show like a generic person avatar or something, like a little, a stick person or something. You could also, I'm trying to think. There are some nice animations built into Tailwind that you could show while it's loading.
Oh, I want to do that for all of them because if I do this now, you'll see how awful my loading screen is.
Oh wait,
Let's see it flickered.
Wait, do it again.
See it flickered. That's what I'm thinking. So I think we need to do.
Oh.
I think we need to do the other way around. Image loaded, set image loaded, and then do unload. Was it?
Yeah. There's another way that I think it's on load. Yeah. I don't remember exactly if that does exactly what we want, but it may do. You could also make it a little bit more generic and decide to have like a state variable that can be in 3 possible states. It can be loading, success, fail.
That would be the more perfect solution, of course.
Yeah.
See, now it doesn't flicker. Because we do, as you said, have 3 states, but visually we only have 2 states. No, but if we add the loaded thing that you wanted, like the animation, then we need all 3 states.
Yes. Yeah, so let's if you give it a background, put the grey background back for a second, and then also give it animate pulse. And try, and obviously that's going to happen, right? So then you could have it do that while it loads.
Yes, but
then you want it to stop doing that one after it loads, after it is success or failed.
So then we need the state. So then we're back to state or status, I guess is better name. Set status, and then we do initial or loading. I guess it starts in the loading, and then handle loaded, set status. Success. What do you usually call these states?
Success is fine, but double C.
Yeah, see, that's why I try not to use it because I always spell it the wrong way. What am I doing? Okay, I'll do this while you ask Shai some very personal questions, Ola.
Yes.
Very personal. Wonderful. I have another idea for some Tailwind we can play with after you've done this one as well.
So, do you have any hobbies?
Do I have hobbies? Yes. I'd like to think I have hobbies. I like to scuba dive. I got into scuba diving last year. That is one of my favorite hobbies. And wakeboarding. Okay, so a lot of my hobbies, I should give context. A lot of my hobbies now involve water because I spend a lot of time in Barbados, which is a very small island with a lot of water around it. So
how did you sorry, I'm hijacking this question. How did you end up with living half your year in Barbados?
Well, I went during COVID, I found a loophole in the British legislation for staying at home that meant that I would be able to leave, and I decided to go on vacation for 2 weeks. And I looked at all the places, some places weren't letting you in, and I looked at all the places that I could go to, and it was Barbados. That was pretty much my only choice. And I was Barbados or Dubai, but I was only going for 2 weeks, and it was like, it doesn't really make a difference. Like it was just going to be a resort, 2 weeks, sunshine. I chose Barbados it made a little bit more sense than Dubai. And on day 2 of my trip, my 2-week trip, I said, there is no way I'm going home right now. This is far too nice. lovely people. I'd met really nice people. COVID didn't really exist there. Like everything was quite open. And I ended up staying. My 2-week trip ended up being much longer.
Yes, I like it.
Cool. Oh, back to the hobbies. Sorry.
No, that's totally.
So then I started scuba diving when I was there. I couldn't swim at the time, which made scuba diving seem a little bit scary. But it turns out you can scuba dive without needing to be able to swim.
Yeah.
And I got really into it. And then I learned to swim while I was there as well, and got certified as an open water scuba diver. And I'm excited to do some more diving when I go back next week. So that is one of my hobbies.
So what do you do then when you're under the water? Do you look for stuff or?
Yeah,
any shipwrecks, any pirate shipwrecks?
There are a lot of shipwrecks. Barbados is covered in shipwrecks. So there's one. There's the dive spot. There's like a very beginner dive spot. It's the one that you can go to when you've never dived before. Very calm water, warm, easy dive. And in the space of one 45-minute dive, you can see 6 shipwrecks. That's how close they are to each other. So a lot of shit. And then as you learn more, you can go to bigger, deeper shipwrecks. But there are 6 like just all next to each other in a very beginner area, which is nice.
But are any of them like old sailing ships? You know,
some of them are very old, some of them are newer. Yes. There's one with an air pocket, so you can like swim into the ship and then up into an area where you can remove your mask. There's no water. I don't know the science, but there is a pocket of air inside, like trapped under part of the ship, under the water, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's what they always do in the movies. You know, they're like, and the ship.
Yeah, that. Are you choking on imaginary water?
Almost, yeah.
Wait, how do you fix that? Like normally, if someone's choking, you offer them water, but it seems like a bad solution here.
So has it ever happened to you that you're down there, you know, scuba diving, and then some of the locals, like the fish or something, they want to get you? You know what I'm saying?
That has never happened.
Okay.
There are the animals mind their own business. You leave them alone, they leave you alone. There are loads of turtles, stingrays. Ooh. It's beautiful down there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I got it. It's working.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are the images loading slow enough that we can see it pulsing?
Yes, because it also will pulse. So what I did now, the logic. So we start out by loading with the status of loading. And then when it's been loaded, we set it to fulfilled. When it's an error, we set it to failed. And then I've set it to animate pulse only when the status is loading. And then if the status is failed, it's hidden. But also if there is no image URL, it's hidden. Because that is like I have this placeholder accounts. So if there is no image URL, it's also... So that's why it's also showing for a while, because if I do it like this now, none of these now have image URL. So they're pulsing and then they loaded.
Were they pulsing? I couldn't see.
They were pulsing.
Yes, they're pulsing. Beautiful.
Yay! And then of course there was while you were talking, I was like, oh no, I can see the broken image. But that's because I had status equals error. But I've remembered I used fulfilled and failed because I know how to spell fulfilled. So so either it's error and success or it's failed or fulfilled. Like that, those are the 2 options. And I go for the one where I can spell both. So the problems with being a non-native non-native English speaking coder.
I mean, the trick to that is to
type
set constants at the top, and then the autocomplete will spell for you.
That is true, but then my const would also be would be success, which is wrong, and
it is, but it would be consistently wrong.
Consistent. I mean, I could have made it consistently wrong if I set success and I just write it wrong all the time. Like that could also work. I'm just kidding. But yeah, this was good. I don't think we need to keep on going. We have a solution, but you wanted to do some fun Tailwind stuff. I'm gonna commit though.
I was about to say, if we're going to, then please commit, because I don't know how the next one will go. But if you'd like to do another few minutes, I have an idea.
Sure. Hide on.
So how did you get into coding then?
Oh, coding. I started very young. I was 4 years old, and there was a book in my house. 4 years old. There was a book in the house of like coding for dummies, coding for kids. I think it was. It had like these little monster characters. I actually found the PDF of it recently. I found this book, which was very, very nostalgic. But it was a book with these little cartoon monster characters, and they would like point at what to do, how to code in BASIC. And I followed some of the tutorial. Like I followed the book and made these little apps in BASIC on the Acorn Archimedes computer. This was long before we had Windows. And I enjoyed it, and I carried on coding as a hobby ever since.
Yeah.
It's always been it's still a hobby, or are you actually doing this for a living now?
I see. I do it. I do it for a living as well. After I'd been coding for a while, I think just after I turned 10, I realized I could make money from it and started my first business, selling, doing web design, making websites.
Yes, I like it.
What year are we in then?
That was 2001.
Oh, you're so young.
So what was the project then? What was the project, the first project, do you remember?
The first paid project was like someone that my mother knew who was a sculptress.
Oh.
And she wanted... early 2000s was kind of when everyone was hearing for the first time that they should have a website. Businesses were they wanted leaflet websites, just something that was like the brochure website, something that they could just hand out as information. And so I offered to make a website for her. I charged £50.
Ooh, that's good when you're 10.
Exactly. I think the hourly rate was probably quite low, but it's a lot of that's a lot of sweets when you're 10 years old. It's a lot of candy. So, and I carried on from there. I built that. I continued to build that business, and then some other businesses, and I never really had a job. I carried on doing that on the side of school, and then on the side of university, and some other. I had an events business there as well. When I was at uni, and then some SaaS and some consulting and so on afterwards, always involving tech, but just continued making stuff.
But you did like a formal education in like programming also, or was that something else?
I did. I studied. I did a half computing, half electronic engineering course, but I had been running these software businesses for 8 years by then. So I learned some interesting things, but there was also a lot that I was able to skip because I'd been doing it for a while, which was.
But did you feel like some of the stuff that they did try to teach at the university, were you like thinking, no, man, it's not, I'm not talking about skipping, but like this is like the opposite of what you should be teaching these kids. Did you ever think that?
I had a lot of issues with, we could go and we can't go into it because we'll be here for hours, but I have a lot of issues with various things about the formal education system for youngsters as well as up in higher education. So yes, there is a lot that I think could have been done differently, but I made the most of what it was. So because a lot of it, there was like the lectures. I quickly realized there would be content on a PowerPoint, and the lecturer would read the content out loud off the board, and then they would upload the slides to the internet afterwards. So I quickly realized that there wasn't a lot of value in going, and I found other more productive ways to use the time instead.
Yeah.
There are some stories. Yeah, then I got in trouble. It's a story for another day.
Yeah.
It all turned out fine.
But you stayed out of jail.
I stayed out of. You don't know that. Was that a question or a statement? No, I stayed out of jail.
Let's not get into that.
Because Bill Gates, he had kind of the same kind of story as you in a way. He started doing business very young. Like the first business deal he did with his sister when he was I think maybe 4 or 5, but he actually ended up in jail in Mexico. When so there's a photo of him, like he looks so super nerdy. He's like 19 or something. It's a jail photo, and you can see like, yeah, that's Bill Gates. Yeah, but yeah,
there's still time. I'm young.
I mean, there's always time. Like when is the best day to go to jail? Like tomorrow or today? I don't know. But it's
I think they say it's Friday or Monday is the best day to go to jail.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I also probably bad.
My first paid web project was for a gallery, so similar thing. It was like
I remember there being lots of HTML tables, nested tables.
I remember using Dreamweaver.
Oh yeah,
ooh,
the good old days.
The good old days. I think I found it on like archive.org. Have you looked up if yours is still there?
No. I haven't.
We did that.
I still have. Yeah. There was a website. The first website I ever built. It wasn't not the first paid project, but when I was about 7, the site that I built when I was teaching myself how to build websites, and I found that a few years ago and uploaded it to a server again, so it is accessible.
Yes.
It's awesome. It's great. There's tons of clip art all over it. And a form that doesn't submit to anywhere, but you can like complete the form. You can choose the radio options, and then you can reset the form when you want to start over. You just can't submit.
You'll have to give us the link, and we'll add it to the description, everyone.
There's a web counter. Do you remember those?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
And you could choose the background color. You could choose between 5 different colors for the background. There was you remember image maps? There was an image map that you could use to click on what color you wanted. And the way I implemented that, because JavaScript would have been far too sensible, there was red.htm, yellow.htm, blue.htm, and so on.
So you changed to actually change the page?
And yes, and anytime I wanted to update the site, I had to update all 5.
That is actually amazing. No CSS variables at that time.
No.
I mean, the CSS spec has come a long way since.
I don't know how you're doing for time, but if you'd like to do one more Tailwind thing, it involves.
I mean, we have time. It's more about
let's do it.
mindful of your time. The Pirate Princess never wants to go to bed, so she's fine.
I can go till the hour. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I was thinking was, what if the error state, if the image can't load, sometimes you see an avatar where it's like it's the initials of the person on a colored background. So I was wondering whether it would be possible to implement that. It would have been more interesting to implement if we were doing your solution with the after pseudo element.
Oh yeah, and then put it
because in that case you have to use some quite advanced Tailwind to get the initials to show up in the after content.
Yeah, because then you can grab them from the alt attribute, right?
Yeah, you could grab from the alt, do some kind of JavaScript to manipulate them into initials, which is never ideal, but
Okay, so we want to make some. I think the alt text at this point is the username plus. Let me see what I put in there. Yeah, the username plus avatar image. But we could we could also send in the name if we wanted to, because the name has better initials than the account.
Yeah.
So where am I getting the name from? I guess like account name.
Account.name.
There's some brute force in the display algorithms for this this card thing. Okay, so account name.
Oh, there's also I just saw a little not bug, but something just above. If you want to,
this in here,
just above. So you've got your classes,
yes.
line 65, 66. So line 65, you set the border color, and line 66, if there's an error, you set a second border color.
Yes, it replaces the old border color.
Does it?
It does, because I can show you because see now, because I can't follow this person's right because they've left Twitter.
Yeah. Okay.
So it will come back with a red color.
Okay. Now, do me a favor. I want to just try something. Swap those two colors. Have red for success and gray. No,
what if I just put it on top?
Yeah,
that
try
will
it.
Make it.
Try it. No, that will still work.
Yeah. But if I say red and then
if you just change the word red to gray and the word gray to what I'm getting at is the reason it's working is because red happens to have been defined later than gray in the Tailwind source.
Oh, I thought it was
it's only by coincidence that
it's
not replacing
it. It's coming later in the class names, but that doesn't work with Tailwind.
Exactly. Both of those classes will be on the element, and the one that will win will be the one that happens to come later in the list of colors.
So if I do now and then he pops back, it's still gonna so it's still gonna be gray or red because I'm gonna fix that, but let's go back to
fine.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because that's my because I'm pretty good with CSS, so I haven't and Tailwind does kind of ruin some of the good stuff with CSS.
It doesn't ruin any of it. It just changes it and you're not used to it. And I won't hear anyone speak badly. No,
I didn't use the word ruin. I meant change. It changes how some of my mental models work.
Yes,
so for
for sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
We'll put the account name in there. But I guess then maybe we want to do these relative because otherwise we're going to have two. Well, hidden. Does hidden hide it from the flow of the HTML or because there's a collapse?
Yes. Hidden gets rid of it completely from the layout flow.
Guys, I thought that was collapse.
Hidden is display hidden.
Yeah. So that removes it from the layout?
That removes it from the layout, whereas invisible is visibility none, which will keep it in the layout.
Okay. So what we want to do here then is we'll create a little span with some letters in there. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, sure.
And then we'll do the status.
Like I say, in my head, I was thinking about when we were gonna do your solution, where there was like the pseudo element with the before and after, and then you can't do it as an extra element. You would have to do it. It would have been fun to play with, but this way is actually easier.
That is basically what because the good book, I think he does something here where he grabs the attribute alt.
Yes, that's exactly it. So you would have to do that with your Tailwind classes.
Mm-hmm. But then we don't have to do that. But we'll make if it's failed. If it's not failed. Oh, if it's no.
No, if it is failed.
Now we're coming up on the hour. My logic is all gone.
We want to show this if it is failed.
Yes. So when do we want to hide it then? We want to hide it if it's not failed. Yes.
So we want to hide it if it's not failed. Yes.
Yes. And then we wanted to.
That's where it could be. That's where sometimes the way that you have it down there in the comments on line 45. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's clearer to say like only put this element if it's failed, but this works.
Yeah, this works. Since we're using it up here, then I thought let's be consistent. So how do we grab a good 2 letters and how do we style it? Just do the 2 first letters, or do we?
Letters. Oh, it's a good question. I would probably split. I'd probably take the string, split it on anything that isn't a letter, map to the first letter of each of those parts.
So we split it on. Well, I guess I can give the name. I'll give the name make sure it's a string. So, or almost make sure it's a string. So we assign it to be an empty string if none is given. So then I don't have to check, because otherwise we'll get an error because you can't do split on something that isn't a string. So we'll split on just space, maybe, just to be simple.
That's the easy way. Yeah, we could do a regular expression split and split on other things as well, hyphens and so on. But anything that's
then
not
you
a
need
letter.
to send
But
me something
this
in
will
the
work for
private
now.
chat, because I am not fluent in regex.
Well, that'll be
regex.
the if you ever let me back, maybe that's what we'll do.
We can do. I remember so a guy that I know, Alex, that I studied with. He's the reason I never learned regex, because I would just like send him a DM on whatever we were talking on. I think it was like ICQ, or was it like the what was it? Not after ICQ, there was like another chat protocol. Anyway, he was like, he could just do any regex in his head. So I would just be like, what's the regex for this? He would send it back. I never learned regex. So that's my little story, regex story. Anyway, so we'll do name split, and then we'll just, I think maybe we should just do the first and second instead of like 3 of them.
Yeah, okay. So slice it.
So
split
let's
it
do
and
it
then...
up here then.
Okay. Oh, you're so much more like diligent with this stuff than I am.
Well, not always.
I definitely would have just done it in line. and let future me worry about it.
Okay, so we'll do name split.
Then okay, so then you,
and then we need to get the first letter of each.
Yeah. Okay. So map. Why don't we map it to the first? Map each of those words to the first letter.
Yes. So that would be then.
So we're going to map
word. And then we're going to get the first, which is word. Can we do this with it? Can we access?
I don't remember. I think you can, but it breaks with Unicode. I can't remember. I think.
Okay. So let's do slice. Isn't it slice? Which is getting. We do slice 01. Or is slice for errors?
I think nowadays you're meant to use char at. I think that's the.
Oh, so char at 0.
Char
at and then 0.
So. Oh no, I might be wrong there as well. Maybe that's the one that doesn't work with Unicode. I'm just trying to quickly read it now.
I think a character, because that means character at. So if somebody has an emoji as its first character, then we're just getting parts of that. Well, let's do this one. And then we'll do initials, and then we'll just get whatever 2 first initials. Then we want to slice the array, I guess. We'll do 0, 2, and then we need to do either the second position or... Oh my god, this is getting too hard.
I think Slice will take care of that for you. I think Slice will take care of it. If there are less than 2, it'll just give you what's there.
Okay, we think so. Okay, let's see what
I
happens.
think so, and then join it back.
Then we'll join it.
And then join it back into a string. Just join it with the empty string. Yeah, I think that's
okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that! There's an S.
Wonderful. And then we
want to style it better though. So now your Tailwind knowledge is needed.
Okay. So wait, what are we? We're a span inside of that div.
Just flex the div.
Yeah. Flex item and
or
flex item center justify center.
Yeah.
That's the easiest full centering that I know.
Flex and then
and then space and then items center to center it in one axis and justify center in the other direction.
Justify. Why is that's because I put the v full on there because we don't want the v full. We don't want it to be the width so that it actually. Oh, there we go. Should we make it white? Or like
whatever you prefer.
Where did my? There it goes. So, and this is the hard part with Tailwind because when I do the text color, do I do text white or do I just do
text white?
White.
Text.
Ah, look at that. Or let's make it like text slate 100 or something. Isn't that like a same color, but just very, oh, look at that. Because our background is slate 400, and then I did a slate 100, which is a light version.
Yeah.
This is
I
good enough.
suspect an accessibility, I don't know actually, the accessibility thing might tell you that those are too close. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I think also you can set an initial like that to kind of not be a part of the screen reader.
Yes. Yeah. So you can do that with Tailwind easily.
No, all my things are white. Didn't I change this? I didn't save. Okay. Sorry, I didn't save my card styling. Yeah, I can set this as, is it SR only? No, the opposite of SR only, screen reader only. What would
SR
that be?
hidden, I think, but again, not SR only. It's just
No,
but
no, that doesn't work because that means it's not.
oh yeah, sorry,
SR.
not yeah, you're right. Just bring up the autocomplete while you're typing.
I don't know.
Maybe it's SR hidden.
I don't think so. Maybe it's just hidden. No, because that would hide it. Well, we'll figure out that later. So we haven't tested it. So let me uncomment this and then say that it should never be hidden, just to like quickly. Oh, that didn't work. See if our initials work for the other ones. Oh, look at that. Our beautiful initial. And here it doesn't work with the emoji.
Okay, so charat is not the solution. Okay, sorry. The screen reader thing, if you're hiding it from the screen reader, it's an ARIA attribute. It's not CSS.
Okay.
It's ARIA hidden as an attribute. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll add that back in. But do you think we can fix this, or are we on the hour now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's try it.
Slice 01 then. Same. I think we need some like real cool stuff to make that work. Because I'm guessing this flag is a flag plus, like, you know, flags are usually two characters.
Try this one. Let me. I'll pop it in the chat here.
But still, it looks pretty good.
Try that.
And I'm pretty sure I can. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, so we need to do that on the word, I guess, then. So
do that.
my string would then be word.
Word.
Because then you get code point at. Okay, let's see. Character is not defined.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was I'm reading too quickly. That was Java, not JavaScript.
Oh. I like the Googling here. Oh, we are gone.
I know, but I want to fix it.
Yeah, I know.
Coconut.
What do you think, Ola, about what
Okay, here we go. How do I get...
Because I get... while.
Ooh, here we go. You have to turn it into an array. It's array.from. This is fun.
So
array.from word. And then you can just do a 0.
Oh, and then I can just do 0. Oh, I did this when I did encryption because I was trying to make it into a string.
Try that.
Is it working though? I don't. I think it still breaks up the emojis. No, look at that. That's a flag. But look at that. It's actually getting the first character, which is a flag emoji. Or it's the flag emoji, while the, this specific flag emoji is actually the flag emoji plus something. Because it's like the pirate flag. The pirate flag is a black flag plus a skull. And I'm guessing this would be, so if we do like a 2.
But that's okay.
Yeah, but it would be fun to just, it's okay. Like, it's a good enough solution for this. But so this is probably white flag and then plus something that makes it. And that is what's so cool about emojis, because it's the same. Like, if you destructure, if you destructure a family emoji, you actually get, depending on the family you're destructuring, if you do the kind of nuclear family with like 2 parents and a child, when you destructure it, you actually get you get the woman emoji, a man emoji, and a kid emoji, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually like made up of more emojis. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna uncomment. You probably knew this, but I just find that fascinating. I
think there's been talk about like now that they've done that with families and all the faces. There was something about getting like the pizza emoji and combining toppings onto it.
Yeah, so people don't have to get pineapples on them if they don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But I want my pineapple. I want to put pineapple topping on my pizza.
And so do I. Okay.
Yes, we did it.
We did it.
We did it. We were going to do the area, so it's just area hidden or
yeah.
Like that, or is it
area dash hidden equals true, I think.
Right. Yeah. And that's, I almost confused. This is one of the things that confuses me in React, because I'm pretty sure the aria labels, we don't make them into camel case, while for everything else we make it into camel case.
Yes, you're right. The aria are supported in React, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or in JSX.
Yeah.
It's part of the JSX.
Yeah, in JSX, yes, you're supposed to hyphenate it.
Mm-hmm. So where's my, so aria hidden true, correct. And I guess we could do that because we have a pretty good alt text on our images. So we can do aria hidden on decorative elements that don't really matter. That is just like prettiness that doesn't really matter. We could hide that from screen readers so it's not read out loud. But most images, it's better to keep the image inside, like keep the image on the page, but give it a good alt text that describes the image. But I'm a little uncertain. Like, that would be interesting to talk to somebody who's more knowledge about this than me for like an avatar image, which is really hard to describe because I don't have a description of all these people. And my alt text now is just like username, avatar, image, which is not really giving any thing of value to a person reading the page with a screen reader. So it's interesting to figure out if like avatars are one of those images that probably might need to be, or not need to be that, but that could be aria hidden in all cases. But I'm not an expert on that. So I'll just keep it in as an image and describe it as best as I can.
Sounds good.
If you don't have any specific knowledge on that. Okay, do we want to summarize then, Ola?
Yes. Why not?
Oh, do you have a plug though?
Oh yes, plug.
Do I have a plug?
Like your company, for instance. Like
yeah. The easiest thing to do if you would like to know more about me and what I do is to go to my Twitter at ShyEtsy, and there are links from there.
In the description, everyone.
There are links from there to a couple of startups that I run, and also to my personal site where I have a newsletter of all sorts of musings that I send from time to time.
Good. Okay, do you have anything to plug, Ola? He's talking to our daughter, I guess. So I'm gonna plug, and suddenly I'm blanking. Camo, isn't that his name? I should not be Googling without turning off. I have not cleaned up my Googling feed. No, just kidding. Josh Camo, that's his name. Josh Camo. Camo, because we were doing a little bit of flex, I thought about this. He has done a pretty cool Flexbox article. Where is his link? There it is.
Yes, I saw this today. I love it. It's fantastic.
I've always gone to CSS Tricks and look at the reference. They have a really good reference for all of the different Flexbox properties or Flexbox things. But he has kind of taken I would say like how I understood Flexbox, but he's like codified it and actually like written it down and like giving a really good way of thinking about the mental model around Flexbox. So his super cool example here is that this is all Flexbox. It doesn't use any breakpoints. And as you do the container with, it will actually kind of just flow. And that's what I always loved about Flexbox is that it kind of takes the fluidity of the web seriously and doesn't kind of set any strict rules for widths and stuff. So I want to plug this article from Josh. Do you want to plug anything, Ola, before the summary? And if you have to jump off during the summary, shall you just do that?
Kom da, Lilla. Kom. Nå viser jeg fram, altså.
Okay, is it the plug?
While you were talking about emojis, Lillian made an emoji on the phone. It's a little bit unfocused.
Yeah.
Come on, camera focus.
But we can see it.
It's got eyes. She doesn't like that we can't see the eyes.
Oh,
but there are eyes there.
There are eyes. She made her own emojis. Is this on your iPhone?
Yes.
Yeah,
Why
we don't
is it
have
so
that
weird?
on our Android. Not that I know of. I'm on Android.
You can kind of see eyes down in the corner.
Cool.
Also, that's the one plug, and then the other one is she's going to sell this stuff on the internet soon. Okay, come here. She's going to show us.
Oh,
the
she's
drawing.
gonna. Okay. She's gonna make her own little shop then. Oh, is it
Si
a
hva det er,
cat?
da. Mamma sier at det er en katt. Er det en katt?
Nei.
No.
Det er en hamsterkatt.
I don't know what hamster is in English. Guinea pig? Guinea pig?
Guinea pig cat.
We have hamsters. One sec. I don't know unless we have hamsters and we have guinea pigs. They're different animals.
Do you? Oh yeah. I just thought now that you said that you had hamsters.
Oh no, I don't have hamsters. That would have been awesome. We have hamsters in English.
To Barbados.
It's a hamster cat.
It's a hamster cat with a Santa Claus hat.
Yes.
That's good. So yeah, Lillian really wants to get a shop set up at some point. So yeah, I guess we're behind since you were like reading that book when you were 4, Shai. We're a little bit behind on our coding work with her. Okay, let's do the summary so that I have something nice to put on the socials. I'm just gonna cut it out and put it on the socials. Or do you want to summarize, Shai?
Sure, I can summarize. So
just 2 seconds. I think we're just gonna summarize the hidden part. So I'm gonna remove all of our avatar thing.
Okay.
I guess I even had some. There we go. Let's summarize.
Beautiful. Yes. So you wanted to. You had these images loading in, but some people, some of the Twitter followers on the page don't have images. The image load fails, and then they see a horrible unloaded image as being beautifully showcased by my assistant. No. And so you craftily changed that so that you kept track of the status of the image, whether it was still loading, or whether it had successfully loaded, fulfilled, or whether it had failed to load. And while it's loading, you had a grey circle that pulses nicely to show that it's loading. And once it is loaded, if it loads successfully, then it would show the avatar. And if it failed to load, then it would not show the avatar and stop pulsing, so they would just see a grey circle.
And we can showcase that by refreshing, because now there is no image URL, and then there was a little part where there wasn't an image URL, and then but like it was flickering again. Why is it flickering? Did you see that?
I didn't on my stream, but if it's flickering, I suspect you just need to do something on the... So what's that flicker? That's when it goes to the error state. It's drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's going to be something to solve when it's not 7 o'clock at night.
Yes, definitely. But it didn't earlier. Like we did this earlier, and it didn't flicker.
Yeah. That is. I have this book about demoing technology, and there's a rule for the demo that you always, when you demo a technology to a customer, you always find a new bug. So that's why you should do it.
Yeah, but this, you know what? We're gonna just have it hidden as default and then set it visible if successful, because that is more. That will be more beneficial. Status.
Ah, yes. Yes. That could be it.
Visible. And then you were saying I can't do these because there's no cascade in Tailwind.
Right, and so what you want to do instead is you don't need the second line. You just want to say status is fulfilled and visible, else or on the set.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then hidden.
Yes, that first one should be question mark. The double ampersand should be question mark.
Now we're...
And then the question mark should be colon at the end of line 25.
Yeah, this is an hour into the stream.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see now. Ah, yes, we did it.
Beautiful. Right. Ciao.
Because it seems like the unerror, the unerror will then fire when there's an error happening, and then there's like a split second before we get the status set.
Yes, exactly. It's showing its own error.
It's better to hide it all the way until fulfilled. So that is amazing. So then I guess we don't really use the failed status, but let's keep it in because we used it in the rest of our solution with the
yes, we use it in the sense that otherwise it would still be loading. So we're using it to wipe out the loading status. So
that's true.
Good.
That is true. Yeah. And then we can use it to do something else on failed. But cool. Well,
awesome.
So let's do another summary then. Now that it works. No,
just you could edit the video afterwards, take the previous summary, show it on that.
Yeah, I know. But thank you so much for coming on. We'll probably have Tailwind, stuff we need help on in the future as well. So
this was really fun. Thank you for having me. And
you can't leave. We're going to sing now.
Was this your first ever stream?
My first ever stream with you, not my first ever stream.
Not your first ever stream. Have you coded on stream before? I feel
yes, I once built a I once built a very important app involving pizza and live streamed it on on YouTube. It was actually, I think to this day it's my most popular tweet ever was my tweet of the announcing the live stream of the pizza app. We can put that in the notes as well if you want.
Then. Yeah, that would be great. Okay, let's wrap it up.
En, to, tre. Bruno follows treasure hunt with Gatsby, Queen Raae, and our guest was Shy Shekta, Junior Devs, Lilian and Oda.
And then we wave.
Beautiful.
Och nu kommer det viktigaste.